Hi, everyone. Um, so, as you heard, I'm the owner, founder, and president of Innovatus Engineering and TSS Building Science. But before all of that, I was one of you. I actually graduated from this high school. 1996, I think, if I remember correctly, and I probably don't remember that right. But I'd like to thank Ms. Nunes for actually inviting me to come out and say a few words. The co-op program, I actually went through this co-op program. I did the whole thing. And so what I wanted to do today is actually just give you a few pieces of information. Just sharing my experience. What you think you're doing today, what you hope to accomplish, what you are imagining your life is going to be like, might not actually be that way. Okay? Speaking from personal experience, I went through this high school. I thought, you know what, and much of you probably have the same experience as me, where you've got family pressures and people telling you, you know, oh, you're going to be good at this, and you're going to be good at that, and you're going to learn, you're going to be a lawyer, and you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an accountant, you're going to be whatever it is that somebody might think you're good at doing, or you yourself might think you're good at doing. The co-op program helps you gain some experience, some insight. We heard all of those good things about opening the door and opening your mind to really experience what it is to be in that world. The reality is, it'll all change, or it could all change. In my case, it changed completely. I thought I was going to be a lawyer. That's what I was told. Anyway, you're going to go to law school. And for the longest time, all throughout high school, even into university, I did a co-op program here at St. Augustine. I went to a law firm downtown every day. I think it would have been the equivalent of the 4-credit program, because I spent 8 hours a day in a law firm every day for a full term. And I loved it. It was fantastic. I got to take the train into Toronto. I got to go back and forth and work 9 to 5 like everybody else. Met a lot of people that I'm still in contact with today, but I didn't become a lawyer. I'm an engineer. The furthest thing from law that you can possibly imagine. Opposite side of the spectrum. How can that happen? Well, it happens because you think you're on a path and you start to realize, this might not be where I want to go or what I want to do. So you start to change. I changed quite a bit. So just to give you a brief history of me, I thought I was going to go to law school, went to the co-op program. Came out of it, went to U of T, got into the general arts program thinking I was going to go to law school, so I started off studying political theory, political science, history, all of those fundamental courses just before you get into law school. 2 years of university went by, and I realized this is not for me. I don't want to go to law school. Now what? At the time, it just so happened that U of T opened up an architecture program. And the one course that I took here in this school that I really loved and enjoyed was drafting. I took drafting from grade 9 all the way to grade 12. Mr. DeBono at the time was your drafting teacher. And he opened my eyes to a lot of the drafting technical skills and even architecture on a very, very basic level. And it was one of those little things that I just loved to do amongst all the other math, science, history courses that I was doing that, again, were supposed to take me in a completely different direction. So it just so happened that I was able to transition the 2 years of university into a completely new program. So I started from zero again. 2 years of university, not wasted, but completed. Started the whole program all over again. Worked, I guess, took summer school, took night school, did whatever I could to finish a 4-year degree in 2.5 years. Because that's all I had. That's the only time I had available, because, again, you're thinking about a time frame, a track. You've got so much time to do what you need to do, and you need to do it in that time frame, or else something else won't happen. Couldn't be further from the truth, right? As you go through life, as you go through your experiences, there's always opportunity for you to change. There's always opportunity for you to reevaluate what it is that you want to do. So guess what? I finished the program. Graduated in architecture, U of T. Great. Decided that was not the thing that I wanted to do. I did not want to be an architect. Now what? 4.5 years of my life in school, studying, thinking that that's what I wanted to do, realized not the right move. Graduated, had no job, had no prospects, didn't know where things were going. And I had no experience to go and get a job in an architectural firm, because really the BA program at U of T didn't prep you for that. There was a lot of theory, there was no practical. So it really handcuffed me. By chance, I happened to be working at a restaurant, because that's what I could do as a waiter, and I met somebody. I didn't actually meet that person, I met that person's, in this case, wife, and got to talking, and she asked me a very simple question. What do you do? What do you plan to do? Is this your career? Is this what you're trying to do? No, I'm just a waiter. I'm your waiter for the evening. That was it. That was as far, I was happy to get a good tip. That's all I really wanted. And in reality, she turned around and said, well, what is it that you study? So I gave her the whole rigmarole, what I did, what I didn't do. And no sooner did I finish and I mentioned architecture, she turned around and motioned to her husband and said, you should give him a card. Well, this person happened to be the president and CEO of a very large engineering company, Trope, which is now EXP and is basically global. And that was my first opportunity to get a job in the industry. Not because of what I did at school, not because of what I did at university, but because of something completely unrelated, working as a waiter. I'm telling you this story not because that's the path that you're going to take or that's the path that you could take. I'm telling you the story because I'm hoping it'll spark some imagination in what is possible. Anything is possible, but it's only possible if your mind is open to it, right? That experience, that opportunity led me to a job that led me to realize after the first, 3 or 4 months of working in this office, I need to be an engineer. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have focused my attention on. So I worked for that engineering company, very sort of low-level position. Basically, I was a gopher. Go here, go there, go get this, go get that, because that's all I was qualified to do. So I quit. Plain and simple. I just quit. Because if I stayed there, it would take me probably another 15 to 20 years to get to a prominent position by working my way up. So I decided, I need the education. I need to focus my direction now. So I reapplied to university, and I went back to school. Here's the problem. All throughout high school, I didn't take any of the math and science courses I was supposed to take to get into engineering. I only took all the courses that I needed to take to get into law school. So I went back to high school. I went to night school. I took OAC algebra, which OAC doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But any of the advanced courses that I would have needed to take to get into a university program in engineering. And that took about a year. And after that, I went back to school, and I got a 4-year engineering degree at the University of Ottawa. And at the end of it, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew that that's where I belonged. But it took me 10 years to get there. But had I not done that, I wouldn't have realized what my calling was. And so I worked in the industry, I worked hard in the industry, I worked in various companies, until I got to the point where I decided, you know what, it's time for me to start my own. And I went out and I took that leap, and I became my own boss. Scariest thing ever. Not having anybody behind you, not having a company behind you, not having any support, to start out and just do something on your own. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, it was me and my laptop. And that grew 7 years ago to the company that we have today, which is about 20 people. Raven has had the opportunity to come into our office and see what we do and see how we operate. The whole point of the story is not to sort of glorify what I've done and how I've done it. That's not the point at all. The point is, what you're doing today is a fantastic foundation. What you've learned all this time in school is an amazing foundation, and all the credit to the administrative staff and the teachers for doing that for you. Take it as an experience, keep it in your pocket, keep it close to you, because when the opportunity comes around, you're going to pick it out of your pocket and you're going to use it. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it'll be somewhere down the line, but you're going to draw on the experience, and it's going to help you make those decisions of what you want to do or don't want to do moving forward, and that's going to make you successful. All the things that you learned in school are definitely valuable. All the technical bits, all of the academic bits. 100%, those are the things that you need to succeed in anything that you want to do. But the things that you should be working on in addition to that, opening your mind to opportunity, communicating, being around people, understanding and learning about how things operate beyond these walls. Because as it was said already, in school, it's easy to go to school. You got a schedule, go to class, do your homework, get your marks, go home. That's it. Real world doesn't work that way, right? So, anyway, I appreciate the fact that I had a few minutes to share that experience. More than anything, the most impactful thing for me is that this is like an out-of-body experience. I spent a lot of time sitting in those chairs, flipping through those books. So the opportunity to talk and share my experience of how I was there and how I got to here was, I'm grateful